Good evening. Welcome to Options Tender. It is Tuesday, 10/18/22. Welcome. If you are new here, go down to that bottom right hand corner, hit that Options Tender logo, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that like button. You know about all the algorithms and all that good stuff. Okay. So we're going to do the usual ES on multiple time frames. We're going to go through the higher time frames just a little bit quicker than usual and get down to the nitty gritty because we've covered the longer term time frame over and over again, and nothing has really changed. So we are in a downtrend. We're in a bearish downtrend. We have lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low. We continue this trend until we fix it. Okay. This 8 EMA, keep rejecting off of it. We're holding off on this 50 simple month moving average. So we have a pause there, but I don't think the month is going to end off quite like that. So downtrend the MACD, downtrend RSI. Let's move to the weekly. On this weekly time frame, we did have some sort of a reversal here. Again, we're in a downtrend. We're in a large downtrend. What we're trying to figure out right now is this near-term situation reversing for a larger bounce, or are we just retesting the 8 EMA once again in this situation and rejecting to go lower? This is a one series, a 5-wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave series here that that resulted in a downtrend, and then we had a large reversal, and now we're continuing a 1, 2, 3, possibly 4, 5 lower. So I don't think this series is over. I do think we have a lot more to go, and that this is just the beginning of it. So just keep in mind, the 8 EMA is a trend indicator. We rejected it off it earlier, and now we're trying to retest and continue right now. But we found support in this big area. This is huge. This big area right here. So once we get into that area, then it's a whole nother ball game. Right now, we just have to figure out how high we're going to bounce before reversing back down. Why am I so sure? Because this is a bear market. The long-term fundamentals are pointing all in this direction. The Fed is tightening all this, blah, blah, blah. So let's go to the daily. On our daily, trend is our friend. And what do we have happening here? Before I zoom in here, this is the area we've been talking about getting into eventually. We reversed off of it very quickly. Let's dive in a little bit deeper and see what's happening here. We have our 1, 2, possibly 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be the end of a 5-wave series, but this looks a little bit short compared to all the other waves. That's possible. It happened back here, but that was actually a part of the next wave, the wave 2, with a expanding flat. So it's a little bit different, unless this is a running flat here. I mean, that's possible where we still have a 1, 2, 1, 2 in this running flat at this point. So lots of things to think about. We're making a bullish crossover on the MACD. RSI has already retested that 50 line. So, this is possibly resistance at this point here as well. We are just floating above the support resistance area, but we're not making a higher high yet. On the daily time frame, we're still making a lower high. So we have to keep in mind that the trend is down. And let's look at the 65 to see if we can see something else happening. And this is where we want to concentrate a little bit more of our time. In the purple, that's our weekly, last week's, it's the price range from last week. And we got back above it. But, it's more important than that. The last 3 weeks, we've been in the same range. And we can call it roughly from 3,800 down, and we're not going to consider that spike, down to about the 3,600 area. this has been just a ping pong event here. We are making a rising wedge here that broke down. We made new lows, and we're starting to make somewhat of a rising wedge here as well. So, um, what I want to really get at is what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen in the next 2 days, or at least till the end of the week in the very short term. This move here, some people are saying that it ends right here, and we have an A, B, and then we need 5 waves up to end this pattern as a as a expanding flat or flat pattern. So you would have an A, B, and then 1, 2, and here's the controversy: is this 3, 4, and then higher a higher area here? I think that might be what's happening, and we could reach all the way up to the 38, the top of the box here, and then break down from the wedge. It's very important. If we break down from this wedge, then the move is over. So the other option, and I think this is less likely, is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to end it there, and we're actually just retracing very high, like a double top, before we move down overnight. Now there's some information coming over at night with overseas and stuff like that. It's possible that we could rise, we could float up overnight until 3 a.m. and then start getting our descent. But I do think this is going to break down. I do think this is the A, B, C, and that this is a 1, 2, 3. We made this 4 here, and if you notice, these are 3 waves. In an ending diagonal like this, you have 5 waves in it, 3 waves in each leg. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this last one would be a 1, 2, 3. So an ABC in there. All right, so we'll see where that goes. Either way, I'm already headed. I'm pointed to the downside. I already have puts. I'm ready for this thing to perhaps get all the way up here before breaking down, or all it needs to do is get over this area here. And if you look really closely on the lower time frames, if you find that this is an A, B, and then a 5-wave move up, very small 5-wave move up, that should end the pattern there. And you can start shorting at that point if you want to get ahead of the curve. Now, if you want to be very conservative, you can wait for the wedge to break down. And also, if you're just a levels player, the 3,700 would be your level where this is confirmed, broken down. And then for this pattern, when you have a rising wedge like this, an ending diagonal, the point, the measured move is right down to the bottom. So we're looking at 3,500 would being the measured move. So we're already in there. We're looking for this to start breaking down. It can break down before or after. It doesn't matter to me. I'm already positioned. But that's so you know ahead of time. And just to give a few more clues here, let's look at the MACD and the RSI. Very similar. You have this rise here. We already broke down from it. We had some divergence. We had some divergence right there. That gave us a clue to start. There's a divergence here as well, but oh no, I'm sorry, that's just a little bit higher, but a little bit of divergence there between this high and this high. So that could have been the end of it. That could have been end of our rising wedge. But if we make one more divergent high, and this is making a lower high, then that's fine. That's just gonna confirm it just a little bit more. Okay. Same thing on the RSI. Right now we have bearish divergence there, but not quite there yet because we didn't make a higher high in price. But if you notice again, we have this rising level, this pivot. We broke down from it, back tested. Now we should start heading down from there. That's what I'm seeing. So we're just going to continue to watch these. I think we should see what's happening tomorrow. VIX expiration is tomorrow as well, or it could have happened overnight here. But either way, the expiration, so that should make a difference for the VIX instead of it not moving anywhere. Anything else that I could add to this? I am bearish. I think this continues to the downside. Oh, our bullish scenario for this. Okay, if this is a 1, 2, and then that's the bearish, we continue to the downside. Our bullish scenario, which is still bearish in the long run, would be for this wedge to break down. We break the lows or come even to the lows as an A. This would all be an A wave after all this. A B wave to get lower. It doesn't even have to go that low. B waves are so confusing. They're meant to take your money back. Anything that you gain in a trend, it could break the lows, come down to maybe the expected move at this 48, 34.80 area, and then you'll get a big old C wave at the end that should come back to the one of our retracements around the 3900 all the way up to the 4000 area. So that's our bullish bearish scenario that could possibly happen as well. So if we start to break down in price, take profits along the way, and just know that if we start to pop back up into these zones again, then we're probably looking at some sort of fake break, higher prices to come. Okay, so set your stops wisely. This is a huge zone here. As soon as we break down from this zone officially or break out from this zone officially, it should be a big move. So I'm looking towards the downside, but don't be too biased that you won't set your stops and you won't get out of your price action if you're in the wrong scenario, if you're headed the wrong way and the right on the wrong side of the chart. So I can actually just move this a little bit more like that. And that might say that our actual wedge is over. It kind of fits this scenario a little bit better. So you got to play around your lines a little bit. That creates the divergence here, which told us to go short, which we did during this process. I missed some of it. I was painting, and I missed a lot of it there. So we are going to continue. We'll actually add on if we wake up and we're gapping up higher, then we will add on to our position. The worst case scenario that I see is that there's a throw over. If this is our wedge, there'd be a throw over and we get to this 38.24 area for our final resistance point. Anything above that, and I think that's invalidated, that we have something else going on, and we'll have to reevaluate our whole situation. But that's what we're looking at, you guys. I hope this helps. Please hit that like button and continue to watch these videos coming up. So appreciate it. Have a wonderful night, and we'll talk to you soon.